Um, so yeah, my last name's Smith. Just because someone has the same last name as you doesn't exactly always mean that they end up being your family. I think my family grew up with the same normal struggles we all deal with: drinking problems, drug problems, arguments, separations, grandparents getting divorced. And about 8 years ago, my mom died, and so we faced one of the more unfortunate ones. And when something like that happens to you, it does something to you and changes your view on the world completely. And every idea that you had about how everything exists completely changes at that point. So I think we gravitate towards the people that know that part of us and know that part of us that now exists because of it. So my sister married her boyfriend that was around at that time. My brother now has a kid with the girlfriend that was around at the same time. And I dumped that girlfriend a month later and am now still alone. And about 3 years after that, my dad actually married the woman he was closest to with at the time. And I don't think any of us were exactly ecstatic about it. I don't think Michelle grew up thinking that she would have 3 stepchildren in their 20s. I don't think anyone grows up with that dream. But we grit our teeth and we pushed through it. And then came the news that Michelle was pregnant. And like any normal family, we did exactly what you would think, which is we ignored it and make jokes about it. I was out to dinner with my dad and Michelle one night, and I guess I was going through a tough breakup at the time, as if there's any other kind. And my dad was like, yeah, you know, your mom would know what to say at a time like this. I still think about like what she would say about like in certain circumstances. And then he took a pause, and then he added, although I think she might have more to say about us not living in the same house anymore, and the fact that I'm married to another woman and pregnant, who's pregnant. Yeah, Dad, she probably would have a lot more to say about that. So it was around this time of year that I guess I started accepting the fact that this is my life and this is how things are going to be. They picked out a name, Morgan, and I think we all know that once you pick out a name to something, it makes it that much harder to actually give back. And then I got a call from my sister while I was at work one day, the day before Morgan was due to be born. And turns out Michelle went to the emergency room and because she felt weird. And turns out they couldn't feel Morgan's heartbeat anymore. And my baby sister was dead before she was even alive. And I was watching my dad and Michelle sob in the hospital the next day that I realized that Michelle had finally become a part of our family. Our gravitational pull towards these awful experiences in our lives had finally sucked in this stranger, and she was finally one of us in the worst possible way, because you don't get to be one of us unless you've suffered like us. Now, before I get a bunch of strange hugs from women that I do not know after this, I should tell you that every story can have a happy ending. It just depends on where you end it. 4 years ago, I got a baby sister. Her name is Sid, and she is this bubbly, quirky, strange spoiled little brat I mean, how does a 29-year-old have an argument with a 4-year-old? Like, no, Sid, I do not want to watch The Little Mermaid again. It just ended 2 seconds ago. We are still dealing with the fact that King Titan just turned Ariel back into a human being. And no, Sid, I do not think tinkling on the potty is that big of a fucking deal. I do it every day. Sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes with the lights off, and my eyes still closed. And Sid even has Michelle's old iPhone, where she tries to take dumb little pictures with. Yeah, Sid, I'm 29, I have an iPhone too. And I think that picture I just took of you tinkling on the potty is going to make a great conversation starter at your first sleepover. Your move, kiddo.